video I'm just going to cover the kettlebell snatch. I'm going to cover it in two different variants of the snatches, kettlebell snatch as well now. We can either do it alternating every time, where the kettlebell meets, touches the floor with every rep, and then we'll turn it with every single rep. And then the second variant will actually be where we hang onto the kettlebell and just drive it from the hip, and then it'll swap every 3 to 5 reps or something, you know, whatever the rep range may be. So, firstly, I will literally just demonstrate the kettlebell snatch first. Now, again, the kettlebell will start on the floor. The kettlebell starts between my feet. So if I turn side on, that kettlebell should pretty much be hidden from view by my legs and my feet, okay? What we don't want to see is the starting position when the kettlebell's in front, because now if the kettlebell is in front of me, I've now got to reach, and that's going to pull my back out, because the kettlebell needs to stay nice and close, and that will become more apparent later on in this video. So the kettlebell starts in the middle of my feet, directly under my central line. I'm then going to go down, keeping my chest up, keeping the weight on my heels, keeping the hamstrings and glutes engaged, and over the shoulders I set back and down, and I'm going to grip my kettlebell. Now notice my opposite hand is on my knee, so I can use this to get some leverage to drive that kettlebell overhead. You don't have to do that, but if you wish, you can just have the hand to the side, wherever feels comfortable. But I generally, when I'm doing this, just put my hand on my knee, and that gives me a little bit of leverage to get that kettlebell overhead. Now when I do this, the kettlebell will start, I'm just going to demonstrate the light kettlebell, just so I can show you the movement of the bell, okay? It will start between the feet, as I've just stated. My setup position is like so, I've just gone through that. I'm going to stand that kettlebell up, I'm going to keep it nice and close the whole time, and open up, completely open up. Now this movement here is very important, because we want to drive that elbow high and wide and pull that kettlebell as high as we can off the floor. Now if I've got a heavy kettlebell, you need to understand that you can't, there's no way I'm going to pull that all the way and just be able to stand it straight up overhead. I'm going to have to pull aggressively off the floor, drive through the legs, snap the hip, snap the elbow, and then punch through into my overhead position. So what I'm looking for is a good aggressive drive off the deck through a good effective leg drive. Open up, drive that elbow high and wide, keeping that kettlebell close. The second I get to a certain point, I'm going to punch through and into my finish position overhead. Now if I speed it up slightly, it should look like so. Okay? And that punch through the top is a very aggressive punch, okay? So if I take it too slow, I hold on to the kettlebell too much, and I've just done it a little bit when I demoed it in that second rep, the kettlebell will come out and round and then bang onto the back of my wrist. And a lot of people, when they do this exercise, complain of getting sore wrists or bruises on the back of their wrists. So to alleviate that problem, we need to make sure we're aggressive as we finish that pull and then punch through into that overhead position. It turns the kettlebell over quickly, and actually we receive it nicely on the back of the wrist as opposed to it banging. What we don't want to see is when that kettlebell, and I touched on this at the start in the setup, is when that kettlebell is too far away. So if that kettlebell is in front of us, I've got to pull it out and around, okay? Now one, this pulls my shoulder out of alignment. 2, I get that bang on the back of my wrist, right? So, what I'm looking for, and I've demonstrated now with heavy kettlebell, just so you can see, is alternating kettlebell swings. I'm looking to alternate every single rep. So I drive that kettlebell straight up with a good leg drive, snap the hip, keep the kettlebell close, and punch through into my overhead position. I can then come down, swap hands, and move through the rep ranges, alternating every single time. If I want to change that up slightly, okay, so say for example it's not actually specified that I need to take the kettlebell from the floor, I don't have to alternate every rep. The quicker way to get through this movement will actually be to hold on to it and just pop it from the hip. So the hip position we need to go to is exactly the same as it is in our kettlebell swing, our single arm kettlebell swing. Remember the position where I come through and I just keep the kettlebell nice and close. But from here, I'm going to pop the hip, jump straight up and punch through. Now that upward drive is, as it says on the tin, straight up and punch through, getting as much upward momentum as possible. What we don't want to see is any outward momentum, because that's when you get that swing round, the shoulder comes out of alignment, and we get that bang on the back of the wrist. So, I've just demonstrated the alternate kettlebell swing. I'm now going to demonstrate where we keep hold of it for a few reps at a time. So it may look something like this. Coming straight up down to the hip, and into that overhead position. And if I want to swap, I literally just meet my hand down at the hip, and then carry on moving like so. So from the front, what we're looking at then, remember, the alternate kettlebell swing. So I start from the floor, drive that kettlebell overhead, and punch through to my finish position. Come down, swap arms, and punch through to that finish position. If I wish to alternate, after a few reps, I can keep the kettlebell nice and close, keep it in contact the whole time, then swap, and then carry on like so. And those are the two variants of the kettlebell snatch that we can utilise in our workouts.